Hi everyone, this is Ink Rose, and today I'm going to be doing a sketch talk on amending fences. Okay, I have to say first off that this episode is one of my favorites in the season. In fact, I think it has now become one of my favorites in the whole show. It's very good, and it was a lot better than... It just felt like it was an episode of higher quality than many of the episodes of the show. It felt like it was well crafted and well put together. And that's one of the reasons I really liked it. So let's go ahead and start getting in depth as to the story of this and some of the reasons that I really liked it. First of all is the pretty amazing continuity here. Seeing Twilight realize her mistakes that she had made when she was younger is actually pretty relatable, because sometimes we do some things in our past that we really regret, and just seeing Twilight remember that she had actually done some really stupid things in the past was really interesting to see. Interesting to see the kind of things she regretted, and most of all, it was kind of showing how much she's really changed in these past 5 seasons. She's changed so much, and understanding and seeing just how much she's changed really made this episode feel a lot more interesting. Twilight has undergone a lot of character development, and this helped prove it, that's for sure. Seeing Twilight go back to her old library was also kind of nostalgic. It was very weirdly nostalgic. And the fact that it was just abandoned kind of makes sense, and I never really thought about it, but it just makes so much sense. She just up and left the library without much of any real it's like it felt like she really wasn't even preparing for it. She just took a few books. I don't even think she really packed anything, and she just kind of moved into the Golden Oaks library without packing anything, which I thought was it's kind of funny just to see that she really just up and abandoned the place, and now it's just in shambles. I kind of wondered, why didn't she bring... were there really no books in the library that she wanted to bring to her new library? It's just kind of funny. Interesting thing to note. Also, her meeting her old friends Colgate was definitely different than I was expecting, but it makes sense too. They knew she didn't really mean anything by leaving them without telling, because they weren't really good friends with her in the first place. So since they knew Twilight, they knew that she would just do something like that and didn't really care. And they loved the fact that they could basically claim that they knew a princess. And, that feels right. That feels like, yeah, that might probably happen. It was very interesting to see these characters expanded upon. I love how they explained how Lyra is in Ponyville and stuff like that. That was some really cool continuity with the episode they had already done. Seeing them have the donuts together was pretty funny too. The sort of awkward dialogue, having Twilight catch up. I also love the flashback to the science classroom. That was very funny and good for character development as well. Seeing Moon dance was also a very interesting experience. I like her design, though I really wish her side bangs and her tail were not so similar to Twilight. They didn't have to make her that similar to make us understand that she's supposed to be what Twilight would be like if she never really found the magic of friendship, because that's what she is. But they really didn't have to make her that close to Twilight for us to get that. Maybe maybe she and Twilight have the same hairstyle because since they were friends, they decided, oh, I know, we're gonna have our haircuts be the same because we like each other because we're friends. So they decided to get the same haircut. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe it was just a popular style for smart fillies at the time. I don't know. It's weird, but I guess it could be explainable. What was a very interesting part of the episode too was Twilight's book spell, where she actually became an illustration in the book. That was one of my favorite parts. I really liked the art style used for her, and it was a really, really cool idea for a book spell as well. If I was a unicorn, I would definitely do that kind of spell. It just seems really fun and a really cool idea. I wonder if you can interact with the book itself. Like, what are the limits of this spell? Is there some way for Twilight to basically pull an ink heart and magic herself into the world of the book? Because that would be pretty cool. Considering she has the power of an alicorn, I would love to see something like that happen. I think that'd be a really cool episode idea or something like that. I really liked the resolution of this episode as well. The fact that Twilight just put all this effort into trying to make Moondancer feel better about herself, and because what this whole issue really was a self-confidence and self-image issue. Moondancer, because Twilight never went to her birthday party, Moondancer's birthday party was herself finally putting herself out there and putting herself out there to the world and telling people, okay, I'm going to try to really be social now. I'm going to try and make a party. I'm going to start doing this sort of social stuff and we'll see how it goes. And her best friend doesn't even attend. And that crushes her it crushes her so much that she decides, you know what, I put myself out there, but instead I ended up getting hurt. So no, I'm going to recluse myself. I'm going to take myself and I'm not going to put myself out there anymore because that's just going to get me even more hurt. And it makes a lot of sense because that's what people actually do. And that's, I think, what I like this episode is that it felt really realistic and relatable to a lot of actual real-world problems. Not to mention, I felt it was well written. It had some of the best animation I think I've seen in the show for a while. Just the way the characters moved and the way they expressed themselves just felt really fluid and great. I mean, it wasn't, of course, special effects animation or anything like Princess Twilight, but it was just really good character animation in this episode. It's weird because usually that doesn't stand out, but for this episode it really stood out to me that the character animation is just getting so much better. Those are pretty much my thoughts on the episode. I quite liked it, as you can tell. One more announcement before I go. I am doing a headcanon, and it's going to be coming out probably before I go to BronyCon, and this headcanon is going to be Ink Rose's backstory. That's all I'm gonna say. It's going to be Ink Rose's backstory. You'll find out what her canon story is in regards to Equestria. So I'm working on that right now. Hopefully it should be done before I go to BronyCon. I will see you all later. Thanks for watching.